Ag PhD full episodes and more are now available on Acres TV, the newest ag platform connecting you to fields of information. Look for us on watchacrestv.com.
Two, 4, and 16. Those are the key numbers that farmers need to know when they're thinking about harvest loss on their farm. During our Farm Basics time today, we're going to talk just a little bit about why farmers are focused on this so much and the tremendous income that could be lost if there's excessive harvest loss.
Harvest is such a fun time. It's just awesome to be out in the field and watch that grain rolling into the combine. But you know what? There's always a few kernels that don't make it in the combine, and we want to try and minimize that as best we can. What is your harvest loss tolerance? I'll ask a lot of farmers that and they'll say, well, 0. Well, 0 is pretty idealistic. You're probably going to lose a kernel here or there, but having less than 0.5%, that would be wonderful. How do you check that? Well, the best way to do it is to look at, on a per square foot basis, how many pieces of corn, soybeans, or wheat, or whatever crop you're harvesting are still laying out in the field.
So what we've done on our farm is we've built some little PVC squares, so 1-foot squares. We throw those out in random places just to see what our harvest loss is. Now let's go back to those numbers that I mentioned earlier, 2, 4, and 16. You want to keep that in mind because 2 kernels of corn equals 1 bushel. 4 soybeans per square foot equals 1 bushel, or 16 kernels of wheat per square foot equals 1 bushel. So 2, 4, and 16 are the key numbers for the 3 major crops in the United States.
Well, one of the cool things that we did a number of years back, along with Case IH, is we developed a harvest loss calculator. And you just type in your numbers of, hey, I had 2 kernels of corn per square foot, that's roughly a bushel, and then you type in, well, what's a bushel worth right now? Let's just say that it's worth $6. All of a sudden, you've got a $6 loss per acre. But you can type in the numbers for your farm. Maybe you've got 5 kernels, maybe you've got 8 kernels, and see exactly what your economic loss is per acre.
Yeah, and it's not just corn or soybeans. We have a number of different crops in there as well. And every crop is a little bit different because the seed size varies so much. So anyway, we just wanted to let you know today that this is one of the big things farmers are looking for, and there are 3 different places that they're going to look. They're going to look in front of the combine. So in other words, this is pre-harvest loss, so something that might be on the ground already. They're going to look at the header and header loss. So in other words, as they're combining, are kernels flying onto the ground then? Or the actual loss going through the machine, through the combine. So you want to compare all 3 things. Okay, what's happening up front, what's happening at the head, and then what's happening coming out the back. And then you can isolate, okay, where is our real problem here? And then there are a number of different solutions depending on where the problem is.
So yeah, if you happen to be driving by a field this fall as farmers are harvesting, you may see them out working around the combine, looking on the ground. This is what they're looking for. They're looking to see if there is any harvest loss in their fields and what they can do to minimize it. I hope they are not looking for our weed of the week, because this weed can be pretty tough to control. We'll show you how to stop it later in the show.